Hello and welcome. Today's episode is with Dr. Amir Khalil. We all know who he is. I think Pakistan was introduced to Dr. Khalil when we saw him singing Frank Sinatra to Kaavan. But we will today talk to him about some of the other things that he's been doing. And obviously, we will also discuss the status of Kaavan as well. So, for all of those interested, don't be disappointed. Hello and welcome. And thank you for your time.
Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for the opportunity.
Can you share, before we started recording, you shared where you were. Can you also, for our audience, tell us exactly where you are right now?
I am at the zoo in Islamabad now, uh, preparing for the relocation of the two Himalayan brown bear to Jordan. So the team of Four Paws and myself, we arrived yesterday from Cambodia after the successful relocation of Kaavan. So now we are very busy again with the relocation of the bears, and I hope everything will go smooth tomorrow, and we will be able to finalize the relocation of the last animals from Islamabad Zoo.
And that's good. That's really good to know. Actually, one of our social media questions was about the Bears relocation as well. Um, I would, Dr. Khalil, start with a very basic question. At what point in your life did you decide that this is the profession you wanted to pursue, that you wanted to be a veterinarian? When was that decided for you?
I mean, I studied veterinary medicine in Egypt. So I left Egypt many years ago as a veterinary doctor. And I have to study or continue my study in Austria, in Vienna. And at this time, during my study in Austria, my postgraduate study, I find just a small note at the university that they're looking for volunteers to go to Romania to castrate stray animals. So it was the first opportunity to go to Romania and to learn about Four Post. It was a small organization at this time, and it was great to be part of a great team at this time, where I was in touch with a lot, I would say thousands of animals. Uh, every month, I would see thousands of animals, stray animal, dog and cats. And we had the first mobile clinic. And from Romania, it was my first experience with wild animal in Bulgaria with the dancing bears. So it was a very long trip to rescue all the dancing deer in Bulgaria, especially in the capital of Sofia. And from, I would say, brown bears, where we were able to rescue all of them at this time, it was the start to work with lions and the other wild animals. And it's ended with 8 years work in South Africa, where I get so much experience with a lot of colleagues in South Africa, also to study in South Africa wild animal, where we were able to rescue a lot of lions, tigers, leopards, a lot of wild animals, I will say. And this was the start. And from South Africa, I started to go to war zones also. From Bulgaria, went to Kosovo, we went to Tripoli in Libya, we went to disaster places, where really disaster or catastrophe happened, like in Philippines. Also, I was in Pakistan in 2010 with a team of Four Paws during the big flood in Pakistan. So it was a very long career with a lot of colleagues. Who really am so grateful for all of them, as I learned so much. And we were able lately to rescue one of, I would say, difficult and heaviest mission, to rescue Kavan, to move animal with this size during this pandemic time. This was a big challenge for the team and myself.
You have been talking about Four Paws as well. So I would like to know, because when I was researching for this episode, I got to know that you joined Four Paws as a volunteer, and then a couple of years later, you joined, on an official position as a director of projects. So how did that happen? How did you ended up working as you mentioned that you started volunteering for them, but how did the transition came? What made you decide that this is what we need to?
After 4 years volunteering, Four Paws was looking, at this time, it was exactly 1997, for a project manager to discuss if there is a possibility to have a long-term and sustainable project in Romania. And I went there for the first contract for 3 months in 1997. And within 3 months, we were able to sign the first agreement with the municipality of Bucharest. And by this, I secured the first job where I have really a clear job, clear task to do with helping the government and the authorities there in solving the problem of stray animal in a human or in humane matter. And this was the first start. And from Romania, I start to learn more and more, not only I would say in a political level, how to make agreement and how to find solution for problem, not to discuss about problem, but find solution. But also it was the first chance in Romania where I was asked with the state prosecutor in Romania to be undercover, to go every night to a disco because they want to confiscate two lions there. So I have to hide like Arabic sheikh at this time in Romania, going every night to the disco, very tired. One of my colleague have to make the role like my girlfriend, and the day where we have to buy the lions from these guys who uh, use the lions as photo models rented from the zoo. And by the day of handover, this animal were confiscated and the guys were arrested. And it was the first experience how to rescue wild animal, two lions, and we have to fly them later after treatment and quarantine and everything to fly them to South Africa. And this we realized at this time and myself the need to have really, if we want to rescue animal, at first we have to have the proper place, the species appropriate place to rescue these animals. So the team of Four Paws was working worldwide, over 28 countries. We done missions to rescue animals, working not only with domestic animal and pet animals, but also wild animals. And then in a rescue mission, we don't think about the species of the animal, but we have to work. Like the last mission in Aleppo, we take dogs, lions, Himalayan bears, or Asian black bears, sorry, and the hyena and the other animals. We have to be prepared for different species of animals to evacuate a zoo in disaster time or in conflict zones.
So no wonder you have been nicknamed as a war vet. So just talk about this idea, because when there's a war-torn area or when there's a disaster, be it a natural disaster or anything else, people are more concerned about saving human lives. And many a times we have seen that in such incidents, even when there are like pets, and if people have to have a make a decision about whether to take them along or not, many a times unfortunately these animals get left behind. So how did you decided that there's a war in all these areas, very problematic political
I think like
yes.
this attention was given to this topic because, in fact, what we are doing, we are saving humanity, not human. Humanity is one word. We cannot divide it. Humanity is not found or founded to be only human. I think humanity is more brighter, more important, and I think a kind person should be kind for human and for animal, not only for human. 70% of the American citizen, for example, during any flood or disaster, they don't want to leave their house without their pet animals. They are family members. How the majority of the people contacted us in war zones, they are human and they are suffering, they are refugee, but they are also suffering when animal is hungry or killed by granite or bomb. So I think to fight more for humanity is more important. We should not give the chance to this type of radical thinking. Human come first. I think humanity come first. And there is many organizations who are helping human. All what we try to do, we are specialized in rescue animal. We are NGO for animal welfare, but we never stop other organization. We cooperate sometime in rescuing animal and the human. So a human doctor can treat human. A veterinary doctor can treat animal. And I think one not stop the other, and not one is important than the other. Saving life, animal or human, is very important. This is what matters.
So all of these rescue missions that you have taken in these very difficult areas and times specifically, is there any incident you would? I'm sure there are going to be many, but any one that you would like to share where you have had an interaction that has sort of further solidified or given fuel to this your idea and this mission that we need to save humanity and not just the humans.
At first, we are not cowboy. So I really, when there is war, I don't take my bag and I say I'm going to the war. Um, we are very, I have very well trained team. We are very well organized. We have to coordinate each step. Safety come first. Safety of the team is very important. So we enter a place when everything is coordinated, is prepared to rescue the animal. Sure, we face a lot of difficulties. Incident could happen anywhere. Could happen in Vienna, New York. A car accident can happen anywhere, even in a war zone. But before we enter a war zone, we should coordinate, and planning is very important before any step. So the team is trained and we get still training. We learn every day. But I want to confirm we are not cowboys. We are just professional team entering to rescue animals.
Uh, sir, before we discuss a bit more about Kaavan, all of these rescue missions that you have taken, and obviously, as you have said, there's a proper coordinated team. They are well trained. And obviously, every species has a different reaction to stress. What I'm trying to say is that the way they express their stress. So, for example, big cats, from what I've read or heard, is that they make an eight on the ground. Any such incidents that you can share, for any specific species, specifically any species that is generally endangered and that you were able to, rescue, and that showed, transformation in its behavior.
I can inform you about the one of the last mission we done in Mosul during the war in Iraq. In Mosul, we rescue one lion and one bear. And this animal was very stressed. They were the survivor from 89 animals died during the war due to starvation, due to the bomb, absence of medicine, water, food. So the majority of the animal died. The last survivor was one lion and one bear, Simba and Lula. And this animal were totally emaciated with a lot of diseases. We were able at first to support them medically before we move them. This such animal in such situation cannot survive a transfer to go out from war zone. So at first we have to care for 1 month for the feeding of the animal, for the treatment of the animal, that we are able to bring them in a better health condition to relocate them. The second, I noticed during this mission when any aeroplane, helicopter passing above, the animal get mad, get stressed because he hear all the time this aeroplane coming. It was explosion, bombs. So the animal were very stressed and a lot of behavior from stereotype behavior and fear. You can notice all this on the animal. And when we moved the animal to the sanctuary in Jordan, within short time, after 1 month, when the animal really don't hear more this type of bomb or explosion, it is just a peaceful place, a proper treatment, proper care. You can see the change of this animal. And we can see also when this animal socialized with other animal, like Lula is with other Syrian brown bear, now they are a family together. Or Simba is moved to South Africa. So when you build a bride of animal, you can see the animal become to be again a lion or a bear and to be in a species appropriate place. This creates sure a very, very positive impact on the animal and on the surrounding.
So talking about Kaavan, as you said, before the video went viral, where you were seen singing Frank Sinatra to him. And when you came first to do a report on the condition of the Islamabad Zoo, how was your first interaction with Kaavan? Because the images we saw, those that got him the title of being the loneliest elephant on the planet. How was he at the time of your first interaction?
So the first interaction was, or first time I met Kavan was 2016. I heard about Kavan in year 2015, but the first visit was 2016. It was many animal at this time at Margazar Zoo. We write a lot of, I would say, expertise and consulting opinion, which we handed over to the stakeholder, Islamabad Wildlife Management Board at this time, about the requirement and the obligatory changes should be done for the safety of the animals, the safety of the staff, and the safety of the visitors. 4 years later, in 2020, we came with a team of Four Paws here, and you find the situation was more worse. So the majority of the animal disappear or dead. Sadly, with the case history of the two lions which die in consequence of the improper translocation with fire. So it was a lot of sad things happen. But also at this time, We find Kaavan from my side. We observe him. He was more aggressive. He was more overweight, like he's over 5 tons, due to the improper nutrition. They were feeding him over 200 kilogram sugar cane per day. Lack of medical, I will say, equipment and the medication needed for the animal. It was very sad. The team worked very hard in the last months, where we gained the trust of Kaavan, where Kaavan lost weight after changing of his diet, and he was physically possible to fly him. And this what happened after this long trip with Kaavan, and after training Kaavan to feel confidence in a transport crate, in his training container, how we call it, we were able to move Kaavan safely to Cambodia to be retired there, to be an elephant. And I think this was valid at the end. Kaavan is currently now living as an elephant. He is beside other elephants. He can, after his quarantine time in Cambodia, will be able to roam in the jungle. And I think this is what elephant, after 35 years serving the zoo, I think it is his time to say, it's my time to be an elephant.
True. So talking about zoos in general and these animal facilities that sort of are can be seen as an educational institution if they are properly managed and for research. Uh, what's your take on that? Because in Pakistan, we know one of the things that we lack, unfortunately, is a proper, the nourishment of their habitat that we sort of give them. But in general, how do you see the role that, if properly managed, the role these institutions have in furthering research about wildlife and conservation? Because we not in Pakistan, but we know of a few similar institutions, zoos in other countries that are sort of helping, revive species that are at the brink of extinction.
I think there is two different topics. One is regarding the zoo in Islamabad. This is maybe it was lack of experience, lack of fund, lack of proper planning. So this is a case. But Pakistan in general have wonderful nature. You have still a lot of wild animal. You have a lot of experience and a dedicated person which loves their nation and want to protect the wildlife here. So it's two different topics. Regarding the situation of Islamabad, it was a capital raised by the awareness of the Pakistani people, decided by the High Court of Islamabad, which was a very big honor to observe and to witness such a great decision for the interest of the animal. But the other side, Pakistan have a lot of wonderful nature. It could be in the future a species appropriate place created to protect such animal. They are ambassador from different places and they should be treated in a proper way. But on the other hand, I think the key success or the success factor for any uh, facility which keep wild animal is the capacity building, is the trained staff, the needed experience, medication, and to show the animal in a proper way how the animal are living in their nature. The reason we call it a species appropriate place. Enough space where they can practice their species requirement, not to keep them in a small room and to say this is a lion closed in a small space. This animal deserve to be in a better place.
So you have used the word, retiring Kaavan as an elephant. R- just when I've heard you use this term couple of other interviews as well. Can you just elaborate a bit on this concept of retiring an animal once he or she has served, uh, you know, uh, and as a part of a facility, a zoo, or a national park, or whatever you may have. So what's that concept like?
The concept for Kaval in general, when we brought him to a place where he could practice his species requirement. This elephant was lonely for many years. Um, and we think this elephant will be much easy to rehabilitate with other Asian elephants. Kavan alone here in Pakistan, sure he might find somebody can build for him a proper place. But also to build a proper place is not enough for an elephant. He need the same species to live with him. I think it's not fair to say you have the most beautiful island in the ocean and but you are living alone. It's beauty, but not to share this beauty with somebody from your species. I think this is sad. So Kavan, just we want to be him an elephant wherever he will be. But currently, he is, I think, happily in a place where he have contact with other Asian elephants. Second, there is still here in Pakistan African elephant, which will be very glad if there is a big steps should be done here to improve the condition for the living elephant here in Pakistan, but the African elephant, not asiatic elephant. So there is a chance exist in Pakistan to improve the situation, to improve the condition, to train the staff. And I think Four Paws here can play a big role in capacity building and training.
We will now move to some of the questions that were sent via social media. And one of this question is just connected to what you said. The images we saw of Kavan from Cambodia when he, first got to interact with a couple of other elephants from his own species, that was very touching. Someone has asked that was it? We know in generally from documentaries that elephant herds are usually maternal herds. They are like dominated by the female elephants, the matriarch of the herd. Was it an intentional move to just, start re-socializing him with female elephants? And or is it an attempt to, induct him in an already formed herd?
Okay, in Cambodian Wildlife Sanctuary in Cambodia, there is three female elephant. The area it is 33,000 acres, so it's a huge space. But Kavan is currently in quarantine, so he is in a solid facility, which should stay about 40 days inside. But besides this facility, there is other three female elephant which go roaming every day in the jungle and they come in the evening to their place, where they get also additional care and food when it's needed. So it was clear to bring the elephant together, to smell each other, to see each other, and to hear each other. I mean, it is very interesting to hear elephant talking with each other. They have their own language. The team there is taking the feces of Kavan to introduce it to the other females that they can smell him in a near way. But we also hope in the near future, in the coming weeks, the four elephant together will be able to go walk in such a way. So we think everything was planned, yes, but the opportunity in the future, our mission is finished. But the mission for Kavan started for a new life. It started. It will be a lot of obstacles. He was chained over 30 years. So he's still a lot of challenges for Kavan to accommodate and to adapt. But we believe in the instinct and he is very clever boy. He will manage.
Um, Another question is a bit more generic about the psychology of elephants. Someone has asked that how much do we actually know about their psychology in general as a species and their emotional growth and maturity? It is said that they have a great memory. How do they show or experience happiness or sadness?
We know so less about elephants. Uh, when I stay beside Kavan, I'm so small and Kavan is so big. And I think myself, I know Kavan. In fact, sorry, I have to say I'm stupid. I'm so small standing in front of a giant, and I think myself I know too much about this animal. This is wrong. We know too less research done about animal. But what I know from study, from observing, elephant cannot forget. So elephant really have a huge memory. They can recognize over 40 voices. Um, elephant are very social animal, have very clear hierarchy, how it is. The matriarch is leading the family. So they have really very clear structure. They are very social, very intelligent, and very careful. If a mother die of an elephant, the other tant or the other female of the elephant will take care immediately for the orphan. So they are very, very intelligent. Their leg or their feet are very sensitive. They hear with us. They can hear if they understood some elephant die within a diameter of 12 kilometer, they can understand, they can feel. If there is earthquakes, like the big tsunami happened um, in 2004, 2005 in Asia, the majority of the elephant in Indonesia went immediately, many minutes before before the floods come. So elephants are very, very intelligent. How much we know, we don't know so much. We observe only, but we have less information and less study about the social and the psychology of the animal.
So I was saying, what about the show of their emotions, happiness and sadness? Because people have clearly reacted to the difference in body language of Kavan. as he has been sort of in the process of rehabilitation. So, are there any other ways that they express themselves that we can see, that the humans can see and understand?
I can tell you within few days, the elephant Kaavan, when he was in Cambodia, his stereotype behavior nearly stopped. He's still waving his head left and right. So you can see immediate change with the animal behavior. The feeding of the elephant changed because the same food he receives there, but different taste. The feeding system, hearing other animal, feeling that he is a male and he have beside female. So the animal or Kavan adapt very quickly. They are very emotional. Sure, he was tied and the bond with human before, but currently Kavan is in a process which is very hard to process. He have a new world. Imagine you live in one nation all your life and suddenly you are in other nation, other language, other climate. Everything is different. Uh, and we are waiting Kavan will react immediately. It's a process which is slowly needed. But he become to be an elephant again. He recognize his genetic. He will remember his mom. He will remember what he faced before. He will remember his girlfriend Sahili, which passed away. So now he have a new chance of life. But his behavior changed. He feel happy. You can see him taking the sand on all the day, but above his body. There is other insects there. He learned how to protect his body from this type of insects, and he will. I felt well, to be honest, in the last days when I left him. I wished him all the best. I am sad as a person to leave a friend, but on the other hand, I'm very glad that he have a better life.
We all are very glad about that. Sir, my last question would be, you mentioned in the start that you are here to relocate the bears that are left. Is it the last set of animals left in the zoo that need to be transferred? And how are they doing health wise? And how is the process going to be? Carvens was very well documented, but I'm not sure if the people are really so focused on the bears.
We moved in the last months several animals. We moved wolves, we moved the monkeys, we moved the rabbits, we moved the elephant cavan, and currently we are preparing moving the two Himalayan brown bear. By tomorrow evening, we should go to the zoo. But also the team heard some rumors today that the wildlife management board might decide again to stop the transfer. We don't know what happened, but we observing what will happen. We are looking forward for their meeting today, and we're looking forward that they will cooperate and support us as they done, as we have all the needed and the required document from export permit, veterinary health certificates, the customs, the aeroplane spoke. So I hope it's just rumors and not really affected because the court decision also and the handing over agreement, everything settled down for a smooth relocation tomorrow. And I hope this information which is spread in some media, it is just a rumors and not the fact.
Best of luck for that. And thank you for your time and the work that you do. Thank you so much for your
Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity.